Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. I'm Beth. Today we're going to be doing a December plan with me in my everyday carry journal. I'm also going to drop some big channel news. I was going to do that in a different format, but here we are. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, first let's go ahead and get set up for December. This shouldn't take too terribly long. You could probably hear it in my voice, but the thing that starts with C and ends with Ed has finally hit our household. After 4 years of managing to avoid the plague, we all now have it. Me and both of my sons, both of them are here with me right now, and we are all positive and just plugging through, hoping we come through this thing together. But I wanted to go ahead and get a December plan with me and then also make an announcement for the channel. So let's go ahead and get this done first, and then we'll talk about the other. You may not have seen this cover before. This is a Galen leather cover that I've had my bullet journal edition 2 in for a while now. I typically take it out to film. As you know, if you've watched my planner lineup video for 2024, I'm switching into a common planner. I do kind of talk about my cover choices in that video, which should be coming tomorrow, because that one was filmed and it was at the beginning of us starting to all feel sick. So I should sound a little bit better in that video when it drops tomorrow, but I know many are looking forward to seeing how I'm going to set up my common planner as my bullet journal. But let's go ahead and get December done. As usual, I have a time image that I have pre-printed. I did this months ago. It's not really resonating with me right now, but I don't want to print a new one. So I'm just going to go with it. That's why I shouldn't do things too far in advance. I have some other printables that I've made to go in here, and they're more Nordic and light blues and whatever. They look like this. It's not the same vibe, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get this in here. Like I said, this shouldn't take too long. I'm probably going to have to edit out some coughing. I have my ginger lemon herbal tea and the biggest chug of water as you can see, to try to make it through this video. This is real life, people. This is the shit that happens to us when we live. And many of you know I'm an event manager, and for the beginning times of 2020 I was furloughed from my job, and then I went back to my job as a venue event manager with hundreds and thousands of people. And I just kind of really thought, well, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But I thought it would be when I was doing that job. The son who lives with me full time, Kenny, is a barista, and so he's with the public all the time, and I'm with the public all the time, and we have managed to not get this thing for almost 4 years. But now it's here. Okay, I need a December sticker, because I didn't put December on here anywhere. We're gonna steal this one, since I sort of switched over. These have been lasting me about a quarter, and so I end up with a lot of the extra stickers that come with the bullet journal edition 2. I also have a signature color for December. It is this green color. I had set my signature colors back here on my month. So that was October, November. November was not a good planning month for me, y'all. I just gotta say, I spent too much time on vacation. And then I couldn't get back in the habit of planning. But this isn't a hoo-hoo brush pen. It's got the thick side. It's got the thin side. So since I'm already using it, I'm going to use it kind of like I would a Pigment Micron in here and sketch out some lines. I almost couldn't find my ruler because I stopped filming my reading journal setup. So this is little tchotchkes that I stick up here. That was from my reading journal. So you might have just gotten a little bit of a preview of what my reading journal theme is going to be. If you want to take any guesses, go right on ahead. See if you can figure those out. We are just going to make some columns here for a habit tracker. I started doing this in September, did really well with it in September. And then, like I said, November's just not been a good planning month for me. I needed that vacation maybe more than anybody's ever needed a vacation. And it was great, but then I had a really hard time getting back in gear when I got back. And sometimes that's just the way it is, right? Let me look back at September. Oh, I did do cross lines all the way across. Ooh, I'm not feeling this today. You know what we're going to do? I have another Ohuhu nearby. And while I like the look of the thin lines, I think I'm going to do the highlight every other line to save both of us some time in this crazy day that this is. Alright, so I'm going to start on, I guess, the 2. And this Ohuhu, it's a light gray, but it has a green tinge to it. I found that out in my reading journal setup. That's where I'm using it, because my N85... Guys, we're not going to worry about smudges and things today. Like that big one right there. Because I can't be bothered. I just need to get it done. Because normally when I set up for, say, like December, I set my weeks so that they fall in the week that has the most days. So the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of December for me still fall in November, and my weeklies in November. So I'm really not setting up my weekly until we're going to go ahead and look at the week of the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, that week in here. But I'm going to go ahead and set up a daily page for December 1st for tomorrow, because like I said, I haven't been planning. I've been sick. My brain is all over the place, and I'm already just sick with knowledge of all the things I have to do when I get back to work on Monday. And based on when my symptoms started, I have been cleared to go back to work on Monday. December starts on Friday, right? This is my Sharpie S Gel, my favorite pen. But as you can see, it can get a little juicy. This is because I had used it with my ruler and it had left ink behind. And now, look, I have it all over me from picking up that ruler and not cleaning it off first. Alright, so those categories are stretch, spirit, move, and post. So I had been planning to do Vlogmas or Planmas. I don't really vlog. And I have scripts and things prepared for 25 videos to get us from tomorrow until Christmas. I'm not going to be able to film all of those. There's no way. And I know y'all understand that. Much of that in-between content is relatable no matter what time of year I drop it. So a lot of that was what I was calling my Level Up 2024 content. You can use that to level up at any time you darn well want to. You don't have to wait for the beginning of a year to do those things. So I'm just going to recycle those into my regular content in 2024 and continue to put those out. But I do plan to try to get up at least 3 videos a week instead of 2. So maybe Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. But we're going to see how much I post. So I put a tracking on here to see which days I actually post. During December, we do have my common planner set up, and then my January common planner set up. We have my reading journal set up, and then January. We have my son's custom bullet journal set up, and then January. We have a number of things that I would like to set up in my new discovery journal, which is my spirit journal. So those are the things that we're going to try to focus on so that A, I can get my stuff set up before the end of the year, and then B, you have time to see if there's any ideas you like there as well. Like I said, I was filming my reading journal setup when I had to take a break and decide this one goes up first and I needed to go ahead and get it done if I could talk my way through it. So that's what those are. And then off on this side, I typically just put bills, and then this already says December. I'm not going to put a December header over here at all. And I just looked at my stickers, and I don't want any of them to clash with it, so we're just going to leave this as it is. My mind has been all over the place, so we are going to set up the page that I call the voices, which, of course, is the voices in my head, and it is my brain dump page. And it is super simple. We are going to draw a line across the top-ish. I'm going to leave my space for a little bit of decoration. That's what that is. We can stick some of those stickers up there. Each page is going to have 4 columns for each of my different 4 life areas. I think this is about to change. I am stretched a little too thin and need to make some changes one way or another. I'm not sure how that's gonna manifest. All right, and the categories that I put on here are my day job, so use the sun, my side hustle, thoughts and beyond, and personal. I just use these little solar symbols. And again, I'm going to highlight every other line, and that is just for my eyes. You know, I'm getting older, and it's just a whole lot easier for my eyes to see when there is the tiniest bit of contrast between one line and the other. Now, one of the other things that happened in November that's just kind of derailed my world is that my therapist took like a 2.5-month leave of absence. Well, what do? Do you switch therapists? I got that notification the day before I went on vacation. And so I thought, well, I don't have time to reschedule appointments or anything now. Just wait until I get back from vacation. And right after vacation, I had an appointment with my psychiatrist. And we talked it over, and he said, well, let's get you switched over. And yesterday was supposed to be my first appointment with the new therapist to see if we gelled. Obviously, Beth can't be in public. And we probably could have done a teleconference. I really like having my therapy in person, especially for the first few visits, if I think I'm going to gel with that person or not. And it's just really kind of thrown me for a loop. If you live with a mental illness and therapy's become part of your life that you need, I honestly think everybody needs therapy. I wish it was more accessible for everyone. But then you're already off the wagon on your planning, and you're already off the wagon on all the other things, and the holidays are coming, and family shit is kicking in, and not having my therapist became like a whole thing. Here we have the voices set up. I'm going to cut out a couple of stickers, put them on there. All my stickers are fussy cut, which means they're just printed on label paper. This is matte, clear label paper, so you can almost see through that. And then when I put it down, it'll show its true colors, but it won't have that glossy texture. I made that mistake in September. I had run out of matte, and I just thought, well, I'll just use some glossy. And then, of course, it was rubbing off on everything because the ink didn't set as well as it does on the matte paper. The matte, it doesn't come off. It stays. And my decision-making paradigm on which stickers I'm cutting out is that I started at the top. I don't have it in me to make a whole lot of decisions right now. Okay, I'm going to set up one more monthly page. And that is because I need a place where I can really start breaking down my goals for 2024. This is the part where I tell you, you do not have to set goals at the end of a year. You can set goals whenever you damn well want to. But I am working on some goals, and I just need a space that I can flesh them out. And since I'm here, and I decided this today, I'm setting up this spread today. If I had decided this yesterday, I would have set that spread up yesterday and just marked it as a collection so I knew where it was. But I decided I needed to break things down a little bit more. So we are creating this grid, and I'll explain it here in just a second. All right. So for me to work on these particular goals, try to figure out what's manageable now versus farther in the future, I have 5 life areas, and that's what these larger horizontal lines are for. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The columns are for one day, someday, now, so that I can really start to separate some things out. And this might be a goal that I'm working on, but I actually have steps for now, someday, one day. They might end up being full-on goals that are, I need to work on this now, and then a separate goal that is a someday in the near future goal, and one that is a this may be way out there goal. So at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and put today, someday, one day. And that distinction between someday and one day is very arbitrary. Just know that you could just do today and someday if you wanted to, kind of like a someday maybe list. But we're trying to, someday I'm thinking 1 to 3 to 5 years. One day I'm thinking beyond 5 years, right? And then if things get sped up and other things click into place, then maybe a one day jumps into a someday or jumps into a today. But I just want to be able to separate those out. Now, my 5 life areas are built off of my life elemental system, which is a thing that is still evolving. Many of you have a lot of questions about it. So do I. I'm working on those as it comes together. It's something I started about a year and a half ago, and it has changed and been very malleable over the course of that year as to what I've called my life areas. But I'm going to go ahead and put those in now. And for me, those are Terra or Earth for the element. This is my grounding, home and hearth sort of area. Air. This is my creativity and career area. Ignis is fire, it's relationships. Aqua is water, it's health and wellness. And then Aether is spirit, which is all of the spiritual sort of things for my soul. And that's it. That's all that's going to look like. We're going to slap a sticker or 2 on it and then go look at what next week is going to look like. I did think about this one a little bit. I have this abstracty sort of landscape. And I have a reindeer. So we're going to use the reindeer. And we're going to stick him like right there. That's just great. Okay, so that's my November setup. Again, this picture I printed months ago, and voices in my head, and then an area for me to down my goals for 2024. One of those year-end things that I need to work on. And then we are going to pop back here the week of next week and just go ahead and get this done too. There isn't much for me to put on here at the moment. I will be cleared to go back to work on Monday as far as illness is concerned. Whether I feel like I want to go back to work may be another topic to be debated, but it's only Thursday, so we're going to hope. I'm just going to draw a horizontal line across the top of my work hours Monday through Friday. Think we have anything special going on next week? I have a lot of administrative things I need to do for work. There's a project that I've been working on that I really need to hustle and try to get done in December. I had too many events just piled on me all spring, summer, fall in order for me to get that done. So it's one of those things that I want to get done. I have a meeting on Monday at 2, and I'm actually double booked between a standard meeting and a new meeting somebody has stuck there. We're just going to go ahead and put in meeting. I had another one that I am the chair of a committee for that I've already moved off of Monday because I can't prep for that meeting this week. I just can't do it. And then Wednesday, 3, I have a meeting. Thursday, I have a new standing meeting because there's nothing like adding another monthly meeting to your calendar. And then have an event meeting that they really want to be over the lunch hour. Drives me crazy. And then on Friday, our team is having their holiday potluck event. So that'll be great because we'll bring all of our stuff for our potluck, and then we'll probably go home early. That's typically a thing they let us do. Now for me, I am going to grab my stencil. I am going to try, like I said, to get a video up on Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday. Monday is the last quarter moon. I'm going to go ahead and indicate that here. If you've been watching for a little bit, you know that we typically do HelloFresh. In this house, it's typically me and my eldest. But I do have both boys here at the moment, and so that is on hold. So at some point, I'm going to have to do some meal planning for this week. Right now, we're eating the easiest things we can eat because nobody wants to stand in the kitchen at the moment, which is fine. It's good. It is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and that is commute time is what that is. I'm going to do the same up here. And then Tuesday and Friday, I typically work from home. Friday, I am going to work from home until I need to go in for this potluck. And then after the potluck, I'll come back home. Like I said, they will let us all go. So below that, we need weekly dinners. And that's what I need to fit into this time frame. And I do not know what those are going to look like right now. I have these Zig singles that are very, very mild. I'm hoping it doesn't clash too much with this because I just grabbed it. I haven't tested it. For the potluck, I'm going to make my chocolate chip cookies, which are renowned in the state of Arkansas. But I checked my cabinet today, and there are some things that I need to pick up. So I'm going to make a list there. Oops, see, already smudged it. Specifically what I need for the cookies on Friday. I won't make them until Thursday. I will make them Thursday night. Or I might even make them Friday morning if I'm working from home. Might have my laptop in the kitchen. They are best served straight out of the oven. Or as close to straight out of the oven as possible. They are the size of your head, and they will give you a diabetic coma if you eat too many of them. But there we go. We have that on there, and then the very bottom line, I'm going to put deliveries. We normally have HelloFresh deliveries. Those are on hold, so we'll need to get another Walmart delivery at some point. But I do know, based on additional Christmas gifts that still need to come in, that Monday I have an Amazon delivery, and Saturday I have an Amazon delivery. Try not to get all the things off of Amazon, but y'all, it's just more convenient. I do have some nerdy stuff coming off of Redbubble, but that should get here before this week. It should arrive this coming weekend. I guess on Sunday, I'm gonna just put a generalized to-do list because I really can't do much more with this week until I know how I'm gonna be feeling come Monday. I just have no idea what the world has in store for me. That's basically going to be it. I'm going to sneak some stickers in. Look, and like I said, I've been cutting from the easiest to get. So look, we're just going to do this. And if I didn't mention before, this is all from Canva. Every image is available in probably Canva Pro. And many of them came from a similar collection. When you click on an image in the resources section of Canva, you can always click on a more like this button, and it will give you things that are similar to it, or if they were definitively from the same collection, they'll add them in as well. I'm going to go ahead and stick a sticker here because I know I'm not going to have to work that afternoon. All right, and that is my week of December 4th. We are going to pop back one more time to the other side of our goals spread and go ahead and set up for tomorrow so that I can try to sit down and start getting my thoughts and stuff together. And this is how I divide my page in the bullet journal edition too, because they have these handy dandy third markers. And that way I can put headers over here and then notes here. So if I watch like a YouTube video, I can put the name of the YouTube video and then my notes here, sort of thing. And they're clearly delineated from one another. I did have everything just on a page where you had the freedom to write wherever. And sometimes I like that and sometimes I don't. And right now I'm in a, let me segment a small section out for the day. And then one of the things that I do in the morning, and we're just going to draw a little sun symbol here because I am a Leo. It's easier to draw the sun symbol than it is to draw the Leo symbol. Plus I have a stencil. I'll write whatever my CoStar app has for Friday, December 1st. And those things are far less horoscope and far more kind of affirmation or thought-provoking for me. And so I'll go ahead and stick that in here for tomorrow so I can get some journaling in and get back into my habit and back into my practice before we get to January. It'll also help me brain dump and figure out I have this plan miss schedule. Which now I have to throw out the window. Maybe I can come in and possibly even set up a different plan miss schedule because, you know, that one's not where I can move it around. I do have one in Notion where I can move around a little, you know, easier, drag things from one date to the next. And that's probably where I'll start. Then I do like to actually physically see it as well. That is my December plan with me. And now for a channel announcement that I really wanted to make in a more splashy fashion. In fact, I was thinking about having it be my first face forward video, but obviously as someone who is afflicted with the thing that begins with C and ends with id, I just don't want to be on camera right now at all. And that is the fact that I am, for 2024, launching a Patreon, and it is live now. Let's talk about why. I've been considering Patreon. I've also been considering a digital store. Did I want to use my website for that? Did I want to use Etsy for that? Because I don't ever intend, at least at this point in the evolution of Dots and Beyond, to have a physical store and physical products. Digital's the way to go for me. As you can see, I spend a lot of time curating things like sticker sheets, even if they're just for myself, that I could make available to other people as well. Patreon now has where I can sell digital products. It's a whole lot easier to set up than the other hoops I was going to have to go through to add the store to my website or add the store to Etsy, create a store, that sort of thing. So there are 3 tiers. There are the Dots, there are the Beyonders, and there are the Elementals to go along with my Elemental Life operating system. But if you are not interested in anything membership related, that's where you can always go check and see if there are any digital products that you might want to purchase. I'll have it linked down below. We're just getting off the ground. The other reason that I am doing this now is that there's only so much community that can be built off of YouTube. And I've chosen Patreon over YouTube memberships. Don't want to have both. Don't want to manage both, even if I can set them up the same. I just want one. I set the Patreon up in a way that it has an opportunity to grow. So the more people who do choose to join that community, the more resources I can put back into the community. And that's where those resources would definitely go. Those membership fees and things would go to growing that community, adding the technology to my toolkit that I would need to do certain things in that community. And that's because YouTube, we comment, we talk a little bit, but we don't really get that chance to build community and get to know one another. And one of the ways that I can do that is through Patreon and adding in a Discord server. So there will be Discord as part of that. I think, again, I have it all hooked up right. I'm a pretty techie person. You never know if when things can get hinky and go awry. But it is there. It is live. If you want to check it out, don't feel pressured to check it out. But if you also ever want to go pick up a digital product, my Sterling Ink Common Planner setup tomorrow, I've created an entire kit that matches my setup that will be available there if you want to go pick that up, if you like the look of those products that I will be using in that particular setup. And that's it. I also didn't want to launch a Patreon until I knew that I had the resources to share my time with y'all as well. I didn't want to make any promises that I couldn't keep. And now I think 2024 is the time for that. You can go ahead and sign up now if you would like. You could also wait until we get through all of this brand new content here at the end of December and see if that is something that you want to stick around for and join us in 2024. That's it. If you guys like this plan with me, you know what to do. Please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.